It's showtime.
Hello guys and welcome to the STPL. My name is Kix, I'll be your host and caster for this evening. I had the day off work from day off sick from work today, so hopefully I'm feeling a little bit better now. That should be good, and be ready to go back to work tomorrow. But for now, we're going to head into some STPL action. Hopefully you've all had a good Wednesday. Obviously I've had an okay one. Not that great, but it's still been better than nothing. And let's have a look at our first matchup we're going to see, but first taking a look at how the standings are looking for Group A. So, as you can see at the top of the leaderboard, we do have Naz and Media very close together in the top two positions. Just behind them is FBW in third, and following them in fourth is going to be White Clan. Now, BuLL, mSj, Valhalla, and Ash, all a little bit further down the table, but not to be worried for them. They still have a long way to go, and two of those teams you can see are the only teams that haven't played 2 games yet in Group A. That's going to be our final series of Week 2, and it's going to be these two teams right here. Two of our newer teams for the STPL. BuLL joining in round 2, getting put in a bit of a deep end, really. Getting put in a group with White Clan. Who else was in their group? You had people like Red, Naz. It was just insane for them. So they didn't have a great last round. Obviously the games were being played a little bit earlier as well, so a lot of the players were playing immediately as they woke up. But here they are in round 3, doing a little bit better. They did lose their first game, but they actually lost their first game in the ace match against White Clan. So doing a lot better here this time. And their opponent's going to be mSj. Now mSj, Messia, joined us for the round 3 show match series, and now round 3. So they've not appeared really in the STPL so far. They have currently gone 0 for 1, but they were pretty close in their game. Of course they did lose 3-1, but that's not too big of a deal, as this is just the start. Now the maps these teams are going to be playing on today is going to be Katrina SE in set 1. Set 2 is going to be on Plasma, which is a slight switch around because set 2 was actually Sim Peaks of 8 and that was a walkover unfortunately, so we're going to ignore that for now and go with set 1, 2 and 3. And set 3 going to be Neo Ground Zero, and then if we make it to the ace match it's going to be on Coliseum. Now Coliseum, one of my favourite maps, should be pretty fun if we do get there. But welcome to anybody just tuning in. I know the stream's just really started up, so lots of STPL action coming. Hopefully I'll be here with you for the next at least 2.5 hours, 3 hours. Solo casting is going to be a bit difficult, but it's all well and good. Need to give Rapid a chance to rest his voice ready for his actual job. So obviously we've had a look at the maps. Now let's take a look at the matchups. We're going to be starting with a TVZ between Fly, Mio and Darkysh, and then a TVZ between Reyna and Lamozerg. Then Dark and Jedi 1 are going to be ZVPing on Neo Ground Zero as the third game. And then of course the fourth set in this series is going to be a walkover, so the ace match could be anybody. But just having a quick look at the players we're going to see first of all, it's going to be Fly Mio for BuLL team. Now Fly Mio did win his first game against White. He actually played very, very strongly in that game. Last round he did go 0 for 5, unfortunately for him. But he is back again with a much stronger start. Obviously winning his first game, could possibly win his second game here as well. And his opponent going to be for mSj. It's going to be Darkysh. Now Darkysh, don't know too much about him. He did lose his first game, but he was up against a pretty strong opponent in Media. So going to be kind of cool to see how he does here in his second game. It's kind of weird with mSj and BuLL team as well, because both of them have a player called Dark. One's called Dark, one called Darkysh. So not really sure which one's which, if they're related to each other at all, but these two players right here are going to be playing on Katrina SE. Now Katrina SE, one of the more, well, it is kind of one of the more standard maps in the round 3 pool. Not the most standard though, they would definitely go to Icarus and Neo Ground Zero, but not too crazy. You do have a natural behind your main, but it's quite far away, giving you a lot of droppable space in your main. Kind of narrow mains as well. Makes it a little bit harder to build too many buildings in one place. Obviously doesn't affect Zerg as much, although Zerg will be able to take their natural very, very quickly behind a sunken wall at their front. And obviously Terran going to have a little bit more trouble fitting in as many barracks, as many factories late game as well. But it's going to be a cool matchup here between FlyMio and Darkysh for our first game today. It's BuLL versus mSj. Let's head on over and let's get started. And speaking of getting us started, over here in the left-hand side of your screen, we do have the blue Terran fighting for BuLL. It's gonna be mSj. Sorry, it's gonna be FlyMio. Whoops. And his opponent spawning down here in the 6 o'clock position. We do have the orange Zerg fighting for mSj. It's gonna be Darkysh. Okay, so the real big thing you can do here to change things is basically your opening builds. Now, we're likely going to see a 12 hatchery play coming in from Darkysh. He's going to scout in the correct direction with his Overlord as well. One benefit that he will have a little bit later on is the Terran Natural in this bottom left position is going to be a little bit easier for him to harass with Mutalisks. Going to be able to dive in and out very easily. And also going to cut off the army of FlyMio as he tries to push across the map. But if we turn on the map vision actually for just a second, you'll see that there's not really that much of a big path here for FlyMio to actually attack in early on. So that may come into things. Not really too sure what we'll see here, of course, but we do see a drone actually scouting off to the top right. Now, this could also be to hide another expansion, but I wouldn't imagine that would be the best choice to do. Obviously, you can just take your own natural, but Darkysh pulling up a few minerals right now. He's actually going to take a forward natural right now. This is quite dangerous. Now, this could be very strong for a Lingolin, but we're going to... Okay, so we're going full SA right now. We're going to have double racks coming in by FlyMio. Darkysh back at home is taking a forward expansion. So how exactly is this going to play out? It looks like Darkysh's Overlord didn't actually go and scout anything. Now the drone is going to move in, see that there is no expansion there, so he's going to find out he's expanded to the closest possible location to his Terran opponent. And this could be a very, very quick game to start us off here in Game 1, as FlyMio is going to be adding on a lot of Marines very, very quickly. Of course, you can go for an expansion behind this. We don't see any gas yet, so he's not going to go for any medics or firebats behind this. Just going to be getting the Marines early on to possibly put a little bit of pressure on. The drone, though, should be able to see that there's 2 barracks just based on the drone numbers. So let's see what the reaction of him is going to be. The spawning pool has finished. First set of lings on the way. Hatchery not quite finished up yet, but that'll be ready soon. Now, one benefit you will have is if you can get a couple of Sunkens up here. But I mean, look at how many Marines there are. There's 5 Marines, 6 Marines with 5 SCVs as well. And this forward expansion is really going to cost Darkysh the game, possibly, as we're going to have a bunker coming down at the front. Darkysh struggling to get some creep colonies back up at home. He's going to forfeit the hatchery. Did use the first set of lava for some lings, but this hatchery is 100% forfeit. There's going to be absolutely nothing that Darkysh can do to hold on to this. Now, I do wonder if maybe Darkysh hadn't practiced on this map much. Not knowing about the back expansion going to be a big boon for him. Now, it looks like the hatchery will go down. Another set of lings have been built, and they're possibly going to be able to go for a little bit of counter damage against the Marines coming in to reinforce. I mean, there is still only 2 barracks. There is a gas now, though. Academy on the way. So it looks like FlyMio really wants to try and end the game with this. He's not going into a second command center. and he's just building up an unkillable amount of Marines. I mean, we're going to have 2 Lings getting in, but they're going to go down to the Marines. Nice micro, actually, saving that Marine from the second Ling. But the SCVs have been sent back home. That's a pretty big deal. Not able to do any damage at the natural, the main even, the lair on its way. So there's going to be 1 base lair coming up from Darkysh. Going to see a Hydralisk then coming up behind this as well. And it looks like Darkysh has changed path in this game, losing his natural. Well, I say this is his 3rd base, but losing his sort of natural second hatchery. Going to put him behind a lot in this game. We actually see Flymeo slightly supply blocked, so this medic is going to cause him a few problems because he's not going to be able to add on any extra Marines early on. We're going to have Lings moving in on the Lings moving on the Marines before the medics get there, so going to shave off a couple of those. So that's going to temporarily unsupply block Flymeo, but he does need to be careful. If you're going for this kind of aggressive style, you need to build up your bio count incredibly quickly. Now, looks like Darkysh is going to pull back, take his natural. A great scan by Flymeo there. Gonna see everything that's going on. The Overlord possibly not going to get away, needs to be a bit careful, and those Marines are going to be able to clean that up. So Darkysh is going to find himself the 1 supply blocked for the moment. And now it looks like Darkysh going to continue to add sunken colonies at the front. Now just imagine if he'd had his natural expansion behind there, and just how far ahead he would be of Flymeo right now. Flymeo got incredibly lucky by this weird expansion placement by Darkysh, and we actually see Flymeo going into a factor already. Stim is finished. I'm not too sure about range, but there's going to be Firebats against Lings right now as the Lings pull back the Firebats in pursuit. But the trouble is, look at Flymeo's bio count. He's got very little bio for this stage in the game. He's had 2 racks for a very, very long time. And I mean, what's he got to show for it? He's not really done that much damage to the drones or anything like that. He's not killed any Sunkens. He did kill a hatchery, which, yes, is 300 minerals, and did put Darkysh behind a lot. But Darkysh is still very much in this game for now. As long as he gets enough Sunkens, as long as he gets this Lurker up at the front. Now, we do have a scan coming down. We'll see that there is a Lurker on the way, and that's going to cause a few problems because he doesn't have any more scans behind this. So I mean, it looks like he's going to move in now. He has to try and make something happen while the Lurker isn't there, but the Ling's actually going to be able to break on past, and we still do not see an expansion command center coming up by Flymeo. He's going to go into his starport behind this, and he will have Marines, Medics, Firebats at home to be able to deal with this, but it's kind of weird. As soon as these Lurkers come in, we're going to see Darkysh is going to be the one who's able to initiate the engagements. It's going to force Flymeo to react. Now, Flymeo does pull back, will be able to slowly scoot his way back, delay the Lurkers from getting up to his base. But this is still going to be kind of annoying. We do have the natural expansion up now for Darkysh. Going to start to add a few drones on there, and there's going to be a spy here as well. So I'm liking Darkysh's position at the moment. He does have a lot less supply. He has a very low drone count, but he's going to be able to drone up pretty heavily behind these sunken colonies, behind these Lurkers. And I mean, if you look at Flymeo, he's got quite a big army now that he can't really do anything with. It's a little bit too risky to move out on the map without scan. And as you can see, he's only got 1 scan right now. We are going to have a drop coming in that looks like it's going to go into the natural. And that would be a very, very strong choice. There's not going to be any defense back here for now, but the Spire should be finishing up soon. But there's going to be a 2-prong attack here from... Now, I'm not really sure why he'd kill this. This would actually make it a little bit easier for the Terran, but that's fair enough. Now, it looks like we do have Overlord's going to scout this drop coming in. But, I mean, he's got 3 Lurkers at the top of his ramp. What has he got back here to defend? It looks like there's going to be an elevator play coming in from Flymeo here. So, Flymeo really playing to the strengths of this map. This could be another dead hatchery. I mean, the Lurkers are going to come back. We're going to have the extra bio jumping into this dropship. And this, oh man, this expansion hatchery is so low down. He is going to save it for now, but the Marine's getting behind in between the minerals and the hatchery. And there's going to be more units dropping in here. Another Overlord is going to go down. And this is way too much damage for Darkysh to be taking. He's going to be on 1 base. He's gone, he's sending out a couple of drones into the middle of the map, maybe to try and hide an expansion. But I mean, realistically, what can he do at this point? He's going to be up against a lot of bio. We are going to get a nice spine, possibly. No, we're not. And oh, this could be a big, big moment. He's going to dive on top of the lurkers. Some units have spawned. Not going to be able to do too much, though. And the bio is going to come in and possibly snipe the Hydralisk Den and the Spire. This is not going to be a good look for Darkysh. Europe is already so far behind. He needs to leapfrog his lurkers. This is very, very dangerous the way he's playing this. He's not really reacting well enough. But here we go. Looks like another Overlord going to go down. The Spire going to be in contention. More Mulists are coming in. The lurkers are going to help clean up these Marines. So that's something. And the Firemat's going to go down to the Sunken Colonies at the back. Flymeo only just now expanding. Going to get his turrets up here as well. There's currently no turrets in the mineral line. The one benefit he does have is he does have Marines back here to defend. But this is 7 Mulists right now. He is going to have a turret here. The turret could possibly get taken down, but does need to be careful with this Mulist not to lose any. Oh, he's going to fly directly into another turret. That's a lot of damage to be taking on these Mules right now. And it's damage he cannot afford to be taking. But behind this, Darkysh is playing the ultimate greed style. He has to try and come back in this game somehow. He's going to expand to the other main. He has a drone up here ready to take another hatchery if needs be. And he is going to look to try and just delay the Terran player from getting across the map. Now, can it delay an SCV scout going out? That could tip Flymeo off to there be something crazy going on. At the back, it's going to be 4 racks in a moment. So still 2 racks production for Flymeo. But okay, so the Mule's going to be flying around, seeing what they can do. The Lurker's getting in position at the top of the ramp. Does need to burrow. Needs to burrow, sending the Mulus in there. But losing a Lurker is a move that he can't really afford to make right now. There's a couple of Overlords going around the map, just seeing if they can see anything, trying to avoid everything. We're going to see a Queen's Nest coming in as well. But you can really see how hurt Darkysh is right now. These are the only offensive units he has to his name. He doesn't even have a second hatchery yet in this game. This one just about finished up. So, I mean, we're going to have a tank on this high ground. I'm going to be sieging across over here. I mean, this is still going to be hard to push into. Oh, the Mule's going to try and snipe the siege tank. This will be a big move if he can get it, and he does. The Marines trying to push up the high ground into the Lurker's going to be taken down. And Darkysh, this is the kind of move he has to make to come back in this game. We've got turrets back here to defend for Flymeo. We have vessels in play now as well. No irradiate being researched, so I imagine that's already done. No upgrades yet on the engineering base, so he is going to be on 0-0, which is a pretty big boon against the build he's doing. And with Hive finishing up soon, if we start to see some Defilers in here, this could be very, very dangerous for our Terran player. I'm really hoping that Flymeo can do something before these... Oh no! Oh, he flew his irradiated Lurker back into the flock, but does only lose 2 of his mutants there. But this tank on the low ground, going to be able to take down this Lurker. Wait, did that Lurker gain health when he unburrowed? That seemed weird. But we're going to have siege mode coming in. There's going to be 2 Lurkers trying to delay this entire Terran army. Another few mutants coming in. He is starting to drone at his other bases, but doesn't really have the ability to drone too hard. We're going to see Scourge coming out here to try and deal with the irradiates. Now, the one thing I'd like to point out is Flymeo's building placement is kind of a little bit weird. Like, I would really have a lot of trouble macroing off of this, but Flymeo a little bit better than I am at the game, so is able to deal with that kind of thing. Oh, the Scourge get the vessel! That's a big, big moment in this game. The vessel, the tanks taken down by the Mulus as well. And these 2 Lurkers are still going to continue holding on. Now, of course, there is going to be a second vessel coming in here very, very shortly. So these Lurkers are only going to be able to hold for a very short period of time. And now SCV actually scouting out that drone in the top middle. There's enough Marines now to push through those. Still no upgrades, though, on the Marines. But this is such a big army by Flymeo. We see a lot of units trying to be added on for Darkysh right now. But Darkysh is in a very, very difficult situation. We're actually going to see more Lurkers coming in. Defiler Mound is Research and Consume. Great Aspire coming in behind this as well. So Darkysh is just trying to get every single tech he possibly can at this stage in the game. And I mean, this is a very, very sloppy game from both players, realistically. But that creep colony going to go down. The Lurker's falling back once again. Muir's going to try and go in and snipe this science vessel. Not going to be able to get it. But is he going to be able to hold on until he gets consumed? That's going to be the big moment. The first Irradiate does go down on the Defiler, though. And that's a big, big moment in this game. Actually managing to erase a drone back there. And there's going to be no Defiler, no Irradiate, but there's a Scourge going for the vessel. Does manage to get the vessel again. So that's going to hurt the Terran just a little bit, but it's still 2 siege tanks, 7 Marines, and a control group of medics as well. 7 medics even, a control group of Marines is what I meant to say. So don't get me wrong, Darkysh is still in a terrible, terrible position. We've got Firebats actually heading up to both bases right now. Just a couple of Hydras back here to defend, but the... Wow, okay, so he's actually got some Guardians now. That's going to be enough to push back the siege tanks, but he can't take out the Marines with these Guardians. He's going to have to be careful. But there are Lings in reserve here to try and push everything back. And it looks like he's going to hold on to his main base for now. But for how long? We actually saw both of the Hydras be taken down. I think there was a few drones up here as well. And I mean, the Lurker is going to be able to clean this up. But Lurker's coming in from behind. One of the Guardians still alive. Slowly trying to take out as much of these units as possible. Looks like a lot of the medics going to go down though. And that's going to be a big thing for our Terran player to lose. Look at all those dead medics. Wow. Flymeo in the meantime has added on a lot more barracks. He's up to 1, 2, 3. Okay, so he's on 6 barracks now when this one finishes. Double starport, triple starport coming in for Flymeo. His saturation doing an incredibly good job. The drone saturation of Darkysh, not all that great. He doesn't actually have any drones at his third base yet, so he is incredibly far behind on the drone count. I mean, even his main isn't fully saturated right now, and that's going to be dangerous. Now we actually have a Wraith coming out here to deal with the Guardians. Looks like all the Guardians have actually been taken down now, and I mean, this is only a matter of time before Darkysh runs out of money, runs out of hope. Of Flymeo still pushing through the middle of the map. Darkysh still trying to gain any form of ground. He doesn't have a Nidus Canal yet though, so it's going to be a while before he can get anything over to that base. I really think that that's the one bit of tech he actually needed to build, and the one bit of tech he didn't. So Darkysh still barely hanging on now, but for how long? A vessel going down to Scourge once again. Good usage of Scourge by Darkysh, making this incredibly annoying. We do have a couple of Defilers over here, and there is the Dark Swarm, but he double swarmed, so a little bit of miss micro there by Darkysh, actually going to cause him a lot of trouble. He actually, oh my god, he consumed another Defiler because he just needed a Dark Swarm. And that is not a position you want to be in. I mean, we've got Marines, a tank up at the front. He is going to get a Dark Swarm off down here. And the Lurker's going to be able to take down these Marines for now. But look at this. There's still another group of Bio going in. Do we actually have any upgrades yet for Terran? Still no upgrades on these engineering bays. Like, if this was a slightly different game, if we saw a lot more... sort of a lot more Evo Chambers coming in by Darkysh, I think Darkysh could actually have an advantage right now. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like he will have. Now, we are going to have an Irradiate going down on this Defiler. He's going to have to Dark Swarm. Interestingly, not Dark Swarming the front. But here we go, the Bio from Flymeo coming in from multiple angles. Once again, going to try... He takes down the Nidus. He's going to get on top of the Defiler Mound. And I think when this goes down, Darkysh is finally going to be able to hope we're going to have a big engagement here by Flymeo, taking down that Defiler Mound. Going to take down the spawning pool as well. And I hate to tell Darkysh this, but when you don't have a spawning pool, when you don't have a Defiler Mound, how do you win late game as Zerg? He's even going to lose his Great Aspire, actually targeting the Extractor right now. Oh man, he's going to lose every single bit of tech he's got. We've got 4 Scourge heading out on the map. But what does it matter? The Lurker's coming back here to defend, but the Great Aspire goes down. The Hydra is there, and it could be next as well. And I mean, another Lurker gonna be morphed back here, but Flymeo in such an incredible position. He actually has a third base up here now. And it looks like Flymeo with a big swarm of Wraiths gonna go in and clear out this base. Huge swarm of Wraiths actually for this stage in the game, but he really was worried about the Great Aspire. Looks like the Lurker's going to be able to clean up everything back at home, but he has nothing to do with the Wraiths. GG! And Flymeo takes down Darkysh in game 1. Now, of course, that was a bit of a weird game. Not often you see a TVZ go like that. The Zerg expanding a little bit too close to their opponent at the beginning. Never gonna look good if there's some kind of 2-rack play, and that's exactly what happened. Flymeo rode his 2-racks all the way to the bank right there and takes mSj up 1-0, and that's going to head us into our second game just after this.